Howdy, folks. So, kind of left you on a cliffhanger there. My phone just stopped on me, and we'll get right back to where I was talking about in a moment. But first, I wanted to give props and a shout out to the guys and girls at Atlanta Brick Co. I want to say the videos that you make were inspirational. Same with Mr. Beast. Like, if anyone's willing to watch that, then who wouldn't want to watch someone play with Lego? And I like to take on creative content. Hopefully, Atlanta Brick Co. and Mr. Beast, you both like me. And I'll just keep being me. So, the cliffhanger. I kind of like how YouTube just kind of took care of everything for me, even the face for my clip on. That was pretty funny. But we were talking about this, or I was, and Lego Group. What I believe what Lego Group did was when they designed this set, they were using this color, and neon yellow came out during this time, and they were like, well, why don't you incorporate this color into the set? And all they got were the flat pieces that came with it, and they're like, well, we're gonna need a lot more of this color if it's gonna blend in. And that's when Lego Group's like, okay, we'll bring back the trans neon molds, and not mold, but the color. That's where we got these windows from, and I absolutely love that idea. I love that this happened. This is why I bought the set. But when it comes to this piece, it could have been done in so many colors. Instead, they just chose plain old boring yellow. Like, if they would have done this in gold, you could have easily asked $80 for this set. I mean, the box had the weight, and it was a good build too. Like, I did this with my grandmother, and I'll talk about that in just a moment as soon as I'm finished with this. But if you did this in pearl gold, we could have used this in so many builds. Like, I just don't know what Lego's thinking long term. I really don't want to tear apart Lego Group. All right. This is not why I play with bricks. So, in fact, it's probably one of the reasons why I don't speak to other people about it. It's just because all the drama. But let's get into having the fun of what I want to do. What it is I'm here to do. First, I've been staring at this. It's distracting me. We know what this is. This is set 41708, Friends Roller Disco, and I'm going to be doing a U.C.S. mock, which is Ultimate Collector Series mock. I've figured out my floor space, and I had to order some base plates on Bricklink. I'm going to keep to the whole idea where it opens up, and I'm going to one-up it with another old design. I'll talk about that probably in part 2 when my base plates show up. It could take about a week or 2. So I wanted to get this part 2 video done. I figured the goal is to get 100 videos and then look back and see what happens with followers and likes and all that. Okay, I wrote myself some notes to keep on track. My grandmother, oh yeah. So that was definitely an interesting experience. And when you're building Lego with a first-time user, the first thing you need to teach them is that snap connection. You know, that feel where clicks and it's flat. Like, it's got to be flat. And that's any age. You got to teach them how to do that. And it takes them about 10 sets to eventually understand, to have a nice solid connection. But she did really well for this being her first set. Took us about 3 hours. Every step, I did it. I let her watch me do it. If there was something that was too complicated for her to understand, I just did it for her. But my father, we did the cement mixer. That took 4 days. I was getting worried towards the end if he was ever going to finish it too, because he looked like he was going to drop out on it. And I'm like, I'll finish it for you if you want me to. He's like, no, I'll do it. All right. We'll talk about it another time if you guys are more interested in it. All right. Let me show off the spacing. So this is what I decided to do. It's probably where I'm going to have to pick up the camera. But this is roughly about where it's going to be. Now, it's these pieces that I'm bringing in. And it really all makes sense once those come in. But that's about the floor space it's going to take. And it'll open up from this line. The bowling alleys are going to extend just a little bit more. They'll still be functional. I'm even thinking about adding in a basketball hoop to make this like a game center thing on the bottom floor. So 4 kids or 5 kids can line up in front of this on a table and just be playing games like it's an arcade. So let me line this back up. We'll talk about Galador and Mario in a second too. I got a lot of questions on that on Facebook. But anyhow, my spacing is pretty solid. And I'm going to go 3 levels. I really do want to go a 4th level high, just to give it that extra. But 3 levels bring it about here. You know, maybe I should just keep it at 3. Because to bring it up 4th level, I think it's going to cost like around $200. And it's going to make the top really heavy. And when you see the top on how I'm going to do it, it's going to be wicked. I'm going to keep that as a surprise. So I'm not sure yet how I'm going to pull it off and how expensive it's going to be. But we'll keep that as a surprise for the 3rd level. The 2nd level is probably going to be the party where everyone's dancing. And in the long term, the way I thought of this is it would be a good way to display a lot of my figurines. All the Batman ones, and because I originally had it with the Superman party, and they were just dancing around with him at the DJ booth. If you remember what set I'm talking about, and the scene in the movie. I'm a little nervous with the camera, so I'm trying to breathe. Anyway, this is my Galador Mario. And yes, he does work. I guess I had a Mandela effect when I first talked about this, but I could have sworn they used the Technic pin for Lego Mario. And I could have sworn there was a Technic pin for the Galador wings. And I ordered the Galador wings. When it came in, I saw that it wasn't the Technic pin. It was the new, well, it wasn't, it's not new now, but it's the Galador style T-cross rubber pin thing. Only for Galador. That would be a nightmare if Lego decided to bring that back. Just one random set. Do it to Star Wars. They deserve it. We'll talk Star Wars later too. But anyway, so what I had to do is I modified a Technic pen. I drilled a hole into the Galador wing, stuffed the Technic pin in there, and then super glued the Technic pin onto Mario. Because when I used the drill bit, it got the plastic a little too hot and it melted a little bit more. So if you're going to drill the hole, go slightly smaller than the Technic pin and account for the plastic to warm up and stretch out. Or you want to do it as cold as possible so you don't heat up the plastic. So very slow and patiently, like by hand. Anyway, but now my Mario makes me smile. Like, I don't know. You can be hating in the comments if you don't like it. I just thought it was really cool. And I'm sure it's the only one out there until someone copies me. So I haven't seen another one since. I'll just get rid of that. So yeah, there's a Bricklink order coming in from Hungary for me. And it just worked out. Instead of buying these plates across America between 4 or 5 different people and all that shipping, I paid $25 to just have it shipped from one person. So when I counted the shipping would have cost to go through all those people to just go through shipping from one person, it made sense. And I ended up scoring these for like $1.60 each, something like that. But yeah, just the shipping alone saved me on this. Not to mention, I got a lot of the purple brick. I got some blue brick coming in. And some more trans neon green. So it's all for the build. And that will probably be where part 3 video will be screened. I can't really do much until those base plates come in. Like, I can keep planning and reminiscing, but I'm a man of action. So, but as soon as those base plates come in, I'll have a lot more video coming out on this. All right. Thank you all for your time, and make sure to like, share, yada, yada, yada. Those numbers do mean something, and I know I ain't gonna blah. How do I want to say it? I don't think it's really amount to nothing. I was gonna do it anyway, but at least try. We all got dreams, right? You have a good one.